A rare knee choke finish at HFC 42, an impressive UFC debut in Houston, an elbow war in Thailand, and new local matchup announcements. This is your Colorado MMA News Weekend Wrap-Up. Elevation Fight Team got this past weekend started as two of their fighters traveled to Indiana for HFC 42, which went down on Friday night. The young Denver-based flyweight Emma Sojo made her amateur MMA debut against Abby Ewing at the Horseshoe Hammond Casino. Sojo displayed great skill and heart in a back-and-forth affair, but would unfortunately come up on the losing end of the scorecards when the fight went to the judges. Despite the fight not going the way she wanted, Sojo clearly had a good time, taking to social media shortly after the fight to say, "I had a blast tonight, can't wait to make a comeback." Keep an eye out for what's next from the hungry young fighter. Sojo's teammate, Lance the Boogeyman Wright, improved his pro record to 5-1 as he defeated Gabriel Mota 3-4 while adding yet another submission to his resume. Wright stalked Mota, pushing a relentless pace as long as the fight lasted, cutting off corners of the cage and walking his opponent down, forcing Mota to fight off his back foot for much of the bout. Early in the second round, Wright dropped Mota with a right hand and then finished him with a rarely seen knee choke along the fence. With the early victory, the Boogeyman now has 4 submission victories on his resume. The following night, UFC 247 went down in Houston and 3 Factory X fighters were featured on the card. Initially, only 2 were expected to fight, with James Krause simply traveling to provide cornerman duties. However, when the opponent for Trevin Giles had to drop out at the last minute, James Krause decided to step up on 24 hours notice, going up 2 weight classes from his normal fighting weight to take the fight and show the world just how gangster he is. Despite not getting the judge's nod at the fight's end, Krause earned an extra $50K for his bold act, earning Fight of the Night honors and great respect from the MMA community. In the opening bout of the evening, 23-year-old Youssef the Moroccan Devil Zalal had an incredible UFC debut. Zalal exhibited great speed and footwork, out-finessing his opponent Austin Lingo with a beautiful blend of techniques. The Moroccan Devil was able to keep Lingo guessing and off balance throughout the 3-round affair by threatening with takedowns and attacking with submissions when the fight went to the mat. Zalal outlanded his opponent everywhere, at a distance, inside the clinch, and on the mat. A truly impressive performance from the young Factory X product. Keep an eye out for what's next from the surging featherweight. In the second fight of the night, it is safe to say that Zalal's teammate Jonathan Martinez was robbed by the judges in a Fight of the Night candidate. Martinez took on Andre Ewell and both men put on an incredible display of skill. Martinez had Ewell hurt multiple times throughout the fight. However, when the fight went to the judges' scorecards, somehow Ewell came out on top, even receiving one score of 30-27. As Joe Rogan said after the results were read, a 30-27 score is criminal. It certainly seemed as though Martinez had done enough to take home the victory, a disappointing end to an otherwise spectacular fight and performance from the Dragon, Jonathan Martinez. And over in Thailand, Easton Muay Thai's Sam Colonia went to war with a Chinese fighter at Max Muay Thai over the weekend. The 2 men decided to engage in an elbow battle that left gashes on both fighters' heads. When the fight went to the judges' scorecards, the result was announced a draw. An incredible performance and display of heart from Easton Sam Colonia. In other local MMA news, the bout between Alistair Overeem and Walt Harris has been rebooked for April 11th at UFC Fight Night Portland as the main event. Overeem heads into the fight with a 45-18 pro record, having won 2 of his last 3. Walt Harris enters the fight with a 13-7 overall record, having won his last 3 fights in a row. The fights will be streamed live on ESPN+. A change of fight plans has come about for Elevation Fight Team's Grizzly Claire Guthrie. Instead of fighting at the King of Sparta event later this month, the 1-0 pro will now fight at Invicta's female bantamweight tournament that will see 8 fighters compete in a one-night event on Friday, March 6th. The first round and semifinals round will consist of 1 5-minute round, and the finals will be a traditional 3 5-minute round fight. Guthrie could fight up to 3 times in one night. Don't miss this big one-night event, which can be streamed live on UFC Fight Pass. JD Hardwick of Easton Muay Thai joined the prize-fighting business to discuss his incredible martial arts journey, which has included living, training, and fighting in Asia, as well as fighting for some of the premier organizations such as Bellator, Glory Kickboxing, and One Championship. The interview drops this week. Check it out on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. And in new local matchup announcements, Colorado Combat Club 5 takes place at the end of the month on February 29th, and a handful of new fights have been made. Ty Rivers, 1-0, versus Darian Robinson, 4-2, of Says MMA will go down in an amateur lightweight bout. Brandy Hancock, 1-5, of Pariah MMA, and Tabitha Trevino, 1-10, will throw down in a bantamweight bout. And Micah Haas will take on Desmond Jones in an amateur bantamweight bout for both men's MMA debuts. Fights take place at the Pueblo Convention Center starting at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Additionally, it was recently announced that Mitch Seabold of Rad Muay Thai will fight Dylan Penland of Bang Muay Thai at Sparta 81 in a Muay Thai bout at 170 pounds. The event takes place on Saturday, March 28th at the Jeffco Fairgrounds. Furthermore, Sparta's Army vs. Marines event takes place on April 25th at the Budweiser Event Center in Loveland, and a couple of new bouts have been added to the card. A fight between Megan Winnick of Trials MMA and Stacy Vega of Genesis Fight Team will go down at 115 pounds. Winnick is 0-1 heading into the bout, and Vega is 0-1-1. And Mason Saunier, 3-1 of Factory X, will fight Roman Marquez, 2-1 at 205 pounds. Doors open at 5 p.m. and fights start at 6. And that's your Colorado MMA News Weekend Wrap-Up. Go give these fighters a follow and check back on Friday for a preview of this coming weekend's fight action. In the meantime, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Prize Fighting Business, follow us on Instagram at Colorado MMA News, and don't forget to like us on Facebook. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I'm your host, Corey Mannion.